Hi guys, I wanted to share a way that I've saved a lot of money buying plants and also help my community and friends get plants too. The past 3 years I've done bulk fruit orders, and how I do it is I basically look at places that I'm interested in buying plants from anyway, and I see if they have a price for like a bulk discount. If you order, over 1,000 plants, you get a better price. And then I think, oh man, it would be really nice to get that better price. And I bet other people would really enjoy getting a better price too. So then I send out a message to friends and family, seeing if they are interested in the varieties that I've chosen. Usually it's me picking the varieties and the types of plants that I want. And so I'll just share what I've done the past 3 years, and hopefully you guys can organize something like this too with your friends and family. It gets more plants out there, you get better prices, your friends and family get better prices, and it is a lot of work, so that's the only downside for the organizer. But really it's a win-win all the way around. So first off, I'll start talking about 3 years ago, the first bulk order I did. I got blueberries from Hartman's Nursery. Hartman's Nursery is in Michigan, and they have a wholesale website. So if you order over 100 plants, the minimum is over 100 plants, and you need to get at least 10 plants per variety. So for the first year, I ordered blueberries. I can't remember what the total was that year, but I think it was like over $400. So with Hartman's, you see the price on the wholesale website, you need to add 35% to for shipping, which they could have changed, but basically what I did was add a bunch of stuff to my cart and then calculate the checkout and see how much the shipping was, and then kind of help figure that into the price. So I think I figured out it came to around a little less than $4 per blueberry plant, but I kind of rounded to $4 just to keep it simple for people, which I changed when I ordered from Hartman's again last year, and I changed how I did that. So Hartman's is a great nursery to order from. So the blueberries came, and the one thing with Hartman's that I wish I had known is that they grow their plants in greenhouses. So when I selected the shipping date, I chose mid-March. I live in zone 5B, so normally bare root plants, mid-March through mid-April is when you normally would plant them. And I got all the blueberry plants, and a lot of them had leaves already. They were leafed out, and I had some trouble talking with customer service about, were these grown in a greenhouse? Like, I tend to order from nurseries that are similar or in a colder climate than we are, because the plants have a better time adjusting and adapting to our climate. So in the end, I figured out that yes, they're grown in greenhouses, and or cold frames or whatever, but it will cause the plants to start waking up sooner. So I had a lot of dieback and stuff like that with some of those. We had a really hard freeze after we got them, and so that was a learning learning curve. And so one tip I would have if you order from Hartman's is just try to get the plants around your last frost date. And you will have to water them a lot, but they seem to have done pretty well for me. And I will talk about them again in a little bit. The next bulk order I did was last year, and we ordered almost $3,000 worth total of plants. I got ordered some from Nourse Farms, and they have just the most amazing berry plants and raspberry plants, and they are one of my number one nurseries that I like to get from, but they are on the more expensive side. So I will show you the chart. Last year I made an Excel spreadsheet of all the people who were ordering, the prices per plant, and then totaled up everything. So last year I ordered from Nourse Farms. We got strawberries, and we got over 1,000 strawberry plants. So our price per 25 plant bundle was like $5.85, including the shipping. And we also got Joan J. raspberry plants. They're a thornless raspberry variety, and so when you get them, they they don't look like much. You're basically buying the roots, but the roots were really vigorous. They grew great, and I was very excited with how they turned out. So they ended up being $3.34 each. I think we met the 150 plant threshold. So basically I just see, like, you know, as an organizer, you are more responsible for meeting the minimum. So you have to really think about, like, what plants would you want? What plants would you be willing to spend a little bit more on to meet the minimum? So for the strawberries, once I had kind of figured out generally what we wanted, I was like, okay, we'll just get 1,000. If I don't end up selling that many, you know, if people don't end up wanting that many, I'd be fine having an extra 100, or, you know, however many it is. Strawberries, they're a little cheaper, so it's a little easier to say, like, oh yeah, I'll keep the extra 100 plants because they're only, you know, almost around $6 per 25 plants. And then I also ordered from Hartman's again last year, and I opened it up to adding other types of plants. So I will flip this around real quick and show you my whole chart and just the prices per plant. The nurse prices were, I figured the shipping into them. So the strawberries were $5.85 per 25 plants. The raspberries were $3.34 per 25 plants. And then we also ordered from Hartman's, which I think I just said. And all of those prices, I use Excel spreadsheet to calculate 35% extra shipping onto those. So for example, the blueberries, some of them were $2.90 each. One of them was $3.20 each. So then you would just figure 35% shipping on top of that. So they're around $4 each. We got Pilgrim cranberries, two varieties of American elderberries, Adams and Bob Gordon. We got figs, which one other downside to Hartman's is their communication isn't the best. So you are getting great prices, but so when you select the shipping date, just know that they won't really send it that week. And also, if they're out of stock in something, their communication, at least from my experience, has been lacking. So there were at least 2 things last year that we ordered, but then when they actually ended up driving it to my house because I was going on vacation and I had people depending on the pickup window. So I was calling, and I live like 6 hours away. So we ended up having $530 was actually the shipping charge for our order. So they probably saved money just by driving it out to me. And then all the people were able to get their stuff, and I was able to have all the pickup stuff organized before I went on vacation. But anyway, we got 4 kinds of figs, but one of the kinds of figs did not come. And I was disappointed with that because, you know, $4-ish per fig plant is such a good price. Even if you bought one regular fig plant from somewhere else, it basically would cover getting 10 from Hartman's. And they are small, but, you know, that's a great price. So then we got some kiwi berries, we got the Russian varieties, and we got some of the Arguta varieties. We got mulberries, fall gold raspberries, red raspberries, blackberries, bayberries we ordered and they didn't come. We got some pawpaws, and then we got some gooseberries. And another thing with Hartman's, if you order from Hartman's, is that if they package them and ship them, they're all potted plants, so they will get damaged, and they usually send extras in the order. So like sometimes I've gotten blueberries that the stems have completely broken off, and from my experience, they tend not to regrow if they have had their stems broken off like that. So they do send extras usually to help kind of cover the damage. And then also you might just get some extras that you can plant as an organizer, like extra bonus plants. But so I'm going to flip this around and show you my system, and then I'll talk about what I did this year. So this is my chart from last year, and I had a lot more people ordering last year because the prices were just so cheap. It's hard to say no to that kind of price. So I folded down the names at the top just because I didn't want to hurt anyone's privacy. But these are all the things we ordered on the side, the prices per plant. These have the shipping included, and then these are the ones that I added 35% to down here. And then each person's totals were down here. And then I had the totals per plant over here. So total, we ordered, you know, $2,983 worth of plants, which is a ton of plants. The nurse order was $927, and the raspberries are very expensive, but they are so nice. I mean, if I had to choose between Nurse raspberries and Hartman's raspberries, I would 100% choose Nourse Farms. Just the quality of the roots, how fast they took, you know, just that they actually are dormant when you get them is nice. And yeah, just they also certify like virus testing and stuff like that. So I do like Nurse, but the Hartmans were a good price. So, and then so for each person, I kind of totaled their Nurse total, the Hartman's total, and like you can see, some people didn't order any of the stuff from Nurse; they just ordered from Hartman's, and then the total amount that they owe. So for me, how I did the payment, because these were all friends that I trusted. I mean, you could organize this with other people who you don't know as well. I just put out the money on my credit card. I just ordered everything after, you know, people said what they wanted. And then they either sent me a check, they Venmo'd me, or just gave me, you know, cash to pay me back for the order. And they usually did that like within the month after I actually placed the order, because I think that's when they charged me for the order. And that's worked well. You know, I might not be using credit cards forever, because I've kind of decided recently I don't really like them. So I'm not sure how I'll do it in the future. I might just keep a credit card for situations like this, because it is really nice to be able to just order it on the credit card and then, you know, have a month for people to pay you back. So it's not like a big rush. So yeah, so that was last order. So for the pickup and organization of everything is a lot of work, but just, and a couple years, every year I say like, oh, I'm not going to do this again. Then I am just so tempted by the lower prices you can get. And also, you know, in my heart, I really do feel like it just helps everybody's resilience and everybody to grow more food to help people get lower prices. I mean, some of the prices for plants now are just ridiculous. And so I really do believe in, I guess, the cause of ordering in bulk and just spreading the love of getting plants. But it is a lot of work. So usually I have like 1 or 2 days of people coming and picking stuff up. And, you know, for the Hartman's order, there was just so many different varieties, and it downpoured when we got them. So I just opened up our garage. Thankfully, we have a garage, and took the cars out and kind of just made a semicircle with all the boxes so that people could come in. I printed off like some multiple pages of this graph and laminated them so that people could go down their name and pick out all of their own stuff. Like, I didn't pre-separate anything, which worked really well. I also had a couple friends who helped out with different things. And yeah, it was a lot of work, but it went really well, and all got our plants. And so this year, what I did, I ordered from 2 different places. I had people asking about Hartman's again, but I would like to see how the plants do over the next couple years before I do another bulk order from them, just to see like how do the, you know, I'm a little bit hesitant about the greenhouse grown plants, you know, getting established and being as hardy as plants that are grown, you know, in a cold environment and stuff like that. So I really just want to see, like, do they grow out well? Are they true to type? How they do. And so far, like, I feel like they have done fairly well. I do think the like the transplant shock and the adjustment and stuff, like the raspberries from them definitely did not do as well as the raspberries from Nourse Farms. The blueberries, I think blueberries take a while to get established anyway. But so I just want to kind of give it some time to see. So anyway, this year I got rootstock from Cummins Nursery, and I had a few people who got rootstock, but a lot of people apple rootstock. But a lot of people haven't grafted before, or they don't really, it's a little too complicated for a lot of people. So I think, and I had kind of asked the whole group of people that I'd asked last year. So if I had to do over, I would only ask a few select people for the rootstock, people that I knew enjoyed grafting and liked grafting. And then the next place that I ordered from is Fedco Trees. And I've gotten stuff from them before. They have really nice trees. They've taken a lot of time saving heirloom varieties of apples and other plants. So I really like their mission and just how much diversity they've brought back into the apple growing world and the pear growing world and all that kind of stuff. They're located in Maine. I've never actually been there. I live in Pennsylvania, but their plants tend to be very, in my opinion, on the pricey side, and I think it's just a normal price now for bare root trees. But most of the apples were around $38.50 each, and normally they have, so you buy your plants, but then there's also shipping on top of that, and then there's also tax. So your total would be, you know, a lot more than the actual price of the plant. So what I did was, on their website, they have discounts for if you order over $1,200 worth of plants. And part of the reason I picked Fedco is because I really love their trees, but also they have a lot of really nice cyanwood and different cyanwood varieties. And so personally, I wanted to add to my collection of different apples. I focused on some red fleshed varieties, some russet varieties, and then winter storage varieties. So I got a lot of different cyanwood varieties this year, partly because the rootstock that I ordered, I ended up getting 100 of the MM111 rootstock just because the price was so much cheaper for over 100, and I just had trouble not doing that. So I spent a lot more money than I was hoping to spend, and probably shouldn't have ordered the rootstock late at night, because then I had a lot of rootstock ordered and needed to get cyanwood. So anyway, so I'm very excited about the cyanwood I got. Each cyanwood stick, I should be able to graft like 2. I kind of planned on 2 trees just because I have grafted the past couple years, but I would not say I'm like an experienced grafter. I would say I'm like a decent beginning grafter. So, and also they just have really nice trees. So I got 1 sweet cherry tree for me personally. So for me personally, I got sweet cherry tree, a sweet cherry tree, and then a lot of different cyanwood. For a lot of other people, they got apple trees, and mostly trees like apple trees, sweet cherries, some of the other like hens and chicks and things. Or the hens and chicks? I think those are anything in the trees kind of department of Fedco. So our order total was like, I think $1,600. And basically, when it was all said and done with this discount, it was not as, for what we're getting, I'm really happy. Like, they're very quality plants and just unusual varieties and stuff like that. But the total for each person was about, after we got the 20% off of our order, but then they add on, I think it was 17% shipping, and then they add the tax on. Basically, we got like a 1% off from the list price of each tree. So basically the list price, so like, you know, what, for $6, for a $6 piece of cyanwood, which that's how much most of the cyanwoods are, 1% off would be what, like 6 cents off from $6. Is that right? Yeah. So like it was like $5.94 per sign wood stick. So but if we didn't do the bulk order, it wouldn't have been $6. It would have been like $6 plus 17% plus 6% or 7%, whatever their tax rate is. So, you know, it really would have been a lot more expensive, like at least 20% more than what we got. So yeah, we'll see when they come. I would really encourage you guys to try doing this. Just look at the prices and see, like whenever you're looking at fruit websites, just look at the prices and see, like, do they give a bulk discount for ordering 1,000 plants? And it sounds like a crazy amount, but once you get to those lower price points, you'll be surprised how many people are just like, wow, that's such a good price. Yeah, I'd like some. And then once you ask, you know, like more and more people, then you get a bigger order, and it just helps everybody. So I wanted to get this video out. I hope you guys are having a good gardening season, and I hope you are able to try doing a bulk order. Please let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Thanks. Bye. Hi guys, I had one more point that I was wanting to say, but then I forgot. And that is that the bulk orders not only help you get a better price, but it also helps the company sending out the plants. They have less packaging, they only have one order they have to get together, and, you know, less fuel spent shipping plants everywhere. Although people do have to come pick up stuff, or you have to take them. But, I mean, that's more of a local thing. But, so anyway, it's good for them too. It's good for, you know, and that's why they give the incentives to get, you know, bulk discounts and stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to add that on. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Thanks. Bye.